Welcome back. As we promised, we are going to talk about medicine in Egypt, but not today, thousands of years ago. And to shed more light on this important and interesting, exciting file, we are very much delighted to be joined by our prominent guest, Mr. Ihab Kamel, our historian and researcher. Thank you very much for being with us, and a very good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Medicine in ancient Egypt, for me, this is a very interesting topic because I know that we were very much advanced in that. But before going to this, we cannot miss the very important event which took place yesterday. The inauguration, or the re-inauguration to be accurate, or the reopening of the tomb of Amenhotep III. An event which was attended by a number of foreign dignitaries, of course, His Excellency Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, a number of top executives, you name it. Tell me more about the significance of this opening and who is Amenhotep III?
Well, first of all, it's the first time this tomb to be open for public exhibition since its discovery in 1799. We have to understand that this tomb was discovered before the deciphering of the Rosetta Stone. So
Is it the second year of the French campaign, which lasted from
exactly.
for 3 years, from 1798 to 1801?
Exactly.
True? Okay.
Exactly. So at that time, the Rosetta Stone was not yet deciphered. So when they discovered the tomb, they did not have a clue. What did these hieroglyphic inscriptions refer to, or what was the name of the king who owned that tomb? It was just, for them, a beautiful tomb from the ancient times of the pharaohs, and that's all. And since then, it was never opened. We also have to understand that the 18th dynasty tombs are very important because the art of tomb decorations had passed several phases. The first phase was during the 18th dynasty. So this tomb belongs to a king, and not any king, King Amenhotep III, one of the greatest pharaohs of the 18th dynasty.
He was really named a great Amenhotep?
Oh yes, yes. Amenhotep was a very lucky pharaoh because he had harvested all the achievements of his ancestors. We all know that the ancient Egyptian empire was created by King Thutmose III and his son, King Amenhotep II. So when they established such a stable empire, King Amenhotep III inherited a stable, rich empire that controlled more than half the trade of the ancient world. So Egypt was very rich. That is why the art during his time, for example, had seen a great boom and a gigantic step forward. And the biggest evidence, look at the colonnaded court of Luxor temple that were built by Amenhotep III. A magnificent piece of art and architecture. Also, we started to see the beginnings of the exaggeration in art, which we know by the name of the Amarna art, the Amarna style. So this pharaoh had inherited a huge empire. He had a stable empire, so he dedicated all his life to create beautiful things like Luxor temple and his additions to the Karnak, the art, the beautiful art, the education, establishing a real department for foreign correspondence. Imagine, I'm talking about the 14th century BC, meaning that you need to appoint people who know all the customs and traditions of the nations we're dealing with. A department for correspondence, which means you need interpreters.
This is a foreign ministry.
A foreign ministry, exactly. And this shows in the Amarna tablets that were discovered in the 1920s. We discovered then that because the ancient Egyptian language was a bit difficult for the other nations in the empire, and they were not that well educated. So the Egyptian ruler had chosen willingly to use the cuneiform writing to be the diplomatic script of correspondence, diplomatic correspondence, and it seems to be that he had lots of people who spoke foreign languages and could read and write in foreign languages to be able to exchange.
All these info, sir, we knew from what was written on the walls of the temple, of the tomb, I'm sorry?
Oh yes, the walls of the tomb, the discovery of the Amarna tablets, the scenes on the walls of his temples.
Or because also the importance of King Amenhotep III came, in addition to all what you have said, of course, he was the husband of Queen T, the father of Amenhotep IV, or Akhenaten, the grandpa of King Tut. All these things together made him one of a kind, or this is something else?
This is another story. Choosing a lady from outside the royal house.
The noble origin, yeah.
Queen T. Queen T, who's Queen T? Queen T, her father was Yuya, the overseer of the royal stables, and her mother was Tuya.
Tuya.
They're responsible for the royal wardrobe. Yes, they were high officials, but at the end of the day, they are commoners.
The couple which death was not able to separate them, and this is another story, sir.
So, this shows that there was a kind of a very advanced mentality that was that showed in that period, and it showed that there was a change in the very conservative, tight rules of the Egyptian court to be able to cope with the changes that are happening to Egypt. Egypt, the rich, the stable empire that's ruling more than half of the ancient world. And it showed how advanced it was. But not only this, but when you look at the Amarna tablets, for example, one of the very interesting letters that were written from one of the princes of Asia, or he was like a viceroy, and he is writing to King Amenhotep III, telling him, "My dear brother, I want you to send me a gift of your gold that never runs out." That shows how rich the empire was. Or another one telling him, "My daughter had grown up. Send for her quickly," because he had a big harem. He wanted to reinforce the relations with the Asian viceroys by marriage. Send for her quickly. And he was the king of Mitanni.
King Ramses also did it.
Oh yes.
Did it this way.
Yes.
This is a big issue. Promise me, sir, that this is going to be one of the main topics we are going to discuss in other episodes. But because I really want to go to this medicine issue. To what extent we were that much advanced in medicine with the first operation room, knowing surgical procedures, treating bilharzia with antimony, for example, something which we did it until the middle of the 20th century. Tell me more.
Okay. Before we get into medicine, let's have a look at who were the doctors. Medicine was one, I don't want to say one of the forbidden secrets, but one of the very tight and small circles that people were allowed to study. Most of them were from the priests, and they were studied in the temples because the temple was also a school or an institute. But why the priests? And look at the beauty of this mentality. Because the ancient Egyptians realized that the people sometimes, or in many cases, they have to expose their bodies to that person. So this person has got to be on a very high standard, or on a very high moral standard,
Honest.
and honest. Who could be more honest and with the highest moral standard than the priest, the holy man, the man of God?
Yeah.
So the doctors were chosen mostly from the priests, and they had to get a religious education first, because they believed that medicine based first on ethics.
Anatomy.
Yes,
How they have learned anatomy.
it's very simple.
Okay.
Mummification.
This is it. Which led to the other?
Well, let's not exaggerate. There are some common mistakes they had fallen into, but comparing them to the nations around them worldwide and to their knowledge, they were way ahead from other nations. Like, for example, the heart and the brains. This was one of the common mistakes, that they believed that the center of feelings and that controls the body was the heart.
The heart.
The brain was only an engine. However, they discovered that whatever affects the body, it affects the brain and the heart. So when they studied anatomy through mummification, of course, this had given them great surgical skills. Because if you're working, for example, on a royal mummy, you cannot afford to make a mistake disfiguring that mummy. So that had given them, or even for a nobleman.
The ideas themselves, sir. I mean, for example, and this is only an example to you, the intestines of cats for the stitches. To know that they are going to fade out, or the body is going to get rid of it that easy without making anything wrong, or without having infections or stuff like that. They knew using garlic as antibiotics, for example. How? Or to be accurate, let's talk more about the most important dynasties, for example, which were that famous for flourished medicine.
As a matter of fact, medicine had flourished since the Old Kingdom.
Oh.
From the Middle Kingdom, we had lots of papyri. Even the papyri that we discovered in the New Kingdom, they were copied from earlier papyri. It's an accumulative knowledge. Medicine is an accumulative knowledge. They studied lots of the properties of different herbs and different material, and with trial and error. But the most important thing, that the results they reached, they documented. Even some of the papyri were describing animal diseases. Veterinary medicine papyri, and it's dating back to Middle Kingdom. More than that, you will notice that they made orthopedic surgeries in the bones, and they used gold, because gold was, for them, is a noble metal. So very seldom it will cause any pain, which later on we discovered that this is true.
Yes.
That the gold is, it doesn't oxidize, nothing happens to it. But the most important thing was discovering how to deal with the human being surgically. What did they use as an anesthetic? The answer was very simple. The poppy, opium. And we had discovered on lots of walls from the nobles' tombs the opium flower, and one of the favorite drinks was putting the opium in the wine.
Okay.
And they used to call it the magical drink.
Okay.
So they discovered the effect of opium on the human mind. So they decided to use it in medicine.
So, next time, inshallah, we are going to discuss the first operation room, first surgery, first even dental surgery, and we are going to speak more about the cesarean. Was it really driven from Julius Caesar's name? This is something I think it needs another episode.
Yes.
Because unfortunately we're running out of time, and every time we knew something new about our ancient Egyptian civilization. Sir, as usual, I enjoyed our discussion.
Thank you.
Well, next time, inshallah, we are going to discuss in more details other topics related to the ancient Egyptian civilization, which is going to continue to amaze the whole world and amaze us even. Well, by this we come to the end of our episode. Stay tuned on Nile TV International always for more updates. Many thanks for watching. We were very much delighted to have with us live here in the studio our prominent guest, Ihab Kamel, our historian and researcher. Till we meet again same time, many thanks for watching.